Good morning, everybody. This is Kula Dula from OptionScalps. I am coming to you today with a new mic unchecked, so hopefully it's good. So if you could do me a favor and go ahead and whoop, sorry about that. If you could go ahead and let me know in the chat if it's good or if I need to turn it down or turn it up, that would be great. Yeah, let's get into it. So first thing first, watching SPY today kind of did exactly what we were looking at yesterday. I like the whole steel liquidity into the end of the day. Swept the high for a potential move down. Kind of watching, at some of the it's a big drop. I think, core CPI did come in month over month over expectations. I think that's something that you need to keep an eye on. Year over year, we are seeing it virtually come down some. I'll pull this over on the screen so you can take a look at it real quick. This is going to be what we're looking at. We're looking at our core CPI here, month over month. Forecast was at 0.2. Previous was at 0.2 as well. It came in August at 0.3, so a little bit hotter than you would expect. And then year over year here, we are at 3.2, and then CPI year over year 2.5. Virtually staying where we're at is where the forecast was right there, or excuse me, staying on forecast. If you take a look here, I don't know why this is going so slow. Maybe because I'm uploading. You're going to see that it did actually drop. This is the actual CPI, not the core CPI. We're going to see that it did actually drop from 2.9 to 2.5. So there was a drop in that, but our core CPI, we did see an uptick in it. So we do know that the Feds do watch the core CPI. That would be more impactful to the Americans here, and we're seeing the market sell down a little bit. Now, the real question is, will we continue to sell down? And normally, if we continue to stay, for me, if we stay under 546.31 here, I would be tempted to short this thing and try to see if this thing will hold yesterday's high and see if this thing wants to drain back down into this 540 range. If it does want to come into this 540 range, I think it's probably a decent idea for you to buy, go long, and think that try to hold 537. And this would be your swing, looking for your retest of 550, 555, and even all the way up to 560. That's the only point in which I think you should do that. I don't think you should do that up here. There could be some trickery. But if it does happen to break out over yesterday's high, again, after this drop, I do think that we'll see 551 today. I thought that 551 could be on the board yesterday. We didn't quite get there. We did get kind of snuffed around that 549 area and didn't quite make it there. So today, like I said, it's going to be an interesting day. I thought we'd see a pretty big moving day today, and it's got potential. So if we do break below 543, 543.39, like I said, I think you should look to buy in this 540 area and look for it to hold the low down here. Maybe give it a little bit of a buffer, but I think you should hold it. But in the sense that the other play would be that you would break 543.49 down here and hold it, then you're looking for this 532 visit, specifically 531.76. But I think you're going to be looking for a visit down in this range down here. Let's go to 1 hour. Yeah. Revisiting this block down here. And if we break through this, this would be where you'd want to buy for the swing. But then the other thing is going short, looking to maintain 550 and looking to go back down all the way down to this 532 area here. It's a pretty broad range right here. So I think the best plan is to buy this dip near 540 for a swing on some calls and see if this thing wants to run up into this 555 area. I think because your risk versus reward's so great, you're just looking for it to hold the low, give it a little buffer, but you're looking for it to hold the low and see if it wants to go up and test this 555 area over the next week. Next thing we're looking at right now is how did Tesla respond? I haven't even looked at this. Tesla is at 225 right now. I think if you're taking a look at kind of what it did yesterday, again, underneath, if it pushes and stays underneath, say, 222, virtually 223, right? If it gets under 223, I think you're shorting this thing for a visit back down to 215, but targeting 218, and then potentially all the way down to that 215, 216 area. If we do end up holding, say, this 220 line here, watch for this thing to potentially visit up to 223 today. I don't think that you'll get really past, or excuse me, 233 today. I think you'll probably get into that 233 range, or maybe even close the gap here at 232.64 and find yourself kind of chopping around 230. Again, options gamma does show us that there's a call wall there, and anytime you exceed that, you really want to, it does make sense for you to potentially short that. But you could always have a gamma squeeze. We've seen it time and time again with Tesla, and this is what I talked about yesterday, where we could see Tesla getting over those numbers and people just piling in and get a gamma squeeze all the way up to 250. So that is on the board, but I do think that you need to be cautious. Right now, we are holding underneath this mark here at 224.37. I think you really need to get under 223 and hold it. In order for it to start pressing down into that 218.64 area, and then also 215. If we continue below there, we would definitely be looking for it, maybe a gap close into that 210 in the upcoming week. Let's take a look at the Qs real quick. I think the Qs right now are an interesting deal. This is a really strong bullish move here. I think if we're going to, watch this, a lot of people are going to say, oh, it's a big, bearish flag right here. I'm going to see this thing move on down. It's possible, but there's a couple areas where you'd potentially look to buy, right? And if it does do that, then you're going to see this thing rip back up towards 460 and potentially into that 463 area. And then you could potentially get that 465. Today, I think if you do break over the top of yesterday's high, watch for this thing to get continuation into this level around this 462 area. And if we break below, say, if we break below 457.41, watch for potentially all the way visiting back down to this previous day's high. We got a pretty strong level around here. This is going to be right around 455.44. See if we get a bounce off of that. That could look something along the lines of dropping below, catching this level, and then maybe pushing back up towards this high here. And that'll be a decision maker if it wants to continue there, or if it wants to, say, fall short here, and then we look to aim lower. But as we see it, core CPI is hot this month, but overall CPI is down. In conjunction with let's take a look. We were looking for this thing to move back down. It's held this level. It did not get the continuation. We thought we'd get this little move down today. Whether we get that or we start moving towards this level, we need to get over these moving averages for it to be a massive squeeze into targets like this is the Mag 7 chart, into the 1906 level, and then potentially all the way up to our 1984 level, and that would be into next week. I don't think we'd catch anything that massive today. I think in the next week we'd find that, but we could potentially start our move up towards those moving averages there. NVDA here got exactly virtually what we were looking for. NVIDIA is finding itself kind of coming up pre-market. We're finding it all the way. Let's take a look at this. Extended. We're finding it moving up towards this liquidity up here at the 1010 area, 109, 1010 area. I believe if we do find ourselves pushing over the top of these levels, I think it's very likely that you could find people waiting to short right over here on top of 110. We have this nice block here of that ultimately sent us back down. We've revisited this area, so watch for all these highs to get hit, and then watch for a reshort here. If we do break through here, watch for 114 to 115 to be potentially tested. I'm not entirely sure that would happen today, but if the market is starting to move into, like, say, a bullish momentum today, it's definitely possible that this thing does get super squeezy and gets into potentially this swing low here right around this 116 area. It would really take a lot. I don't think we're going to get that with core CPI printing a little bit hotter, but it is a potential. If we break, say, below, if we break below 107, 107.05, watch for this thing to potentially retest some of these lows down here. We're going to look and see if this thing is going to this to me looks more so like a bearish setup than anything, but if it does pop with momentum, man, it could squeeze. NVIDIA's got so many calls over the last say this last 2 days, including the ones that we talked about the other day were the 110 calls. They did get sold on, that NVIDIA did get sold on yesterday, and it's recovered virtually flat. And then this morning we are seeing it push up a little bit. So for me, you know, I just say steer clear unless you're swinging calls on NVIDIA, and that you could look at something like this and potentially average into it. But for me, NVIDIA is just kind of a steer clear today. I'm not going to trade NVIDIA. I am looking at something like Apple today, where we did see a big strong sell-off yesterday. If we do start getting a continuation down, I do think that 218 and even 216.75, all these could be in danger today. And in fact, I think we could go all the way down to our 214 mark if we get some really strong selling today. So we're going to be monitoring this. I think that if you've been watching all week, we've been really dialed into what's going to happen this week. There's always a couple scenarios. Anybody who tells you they knows exactly where the market's going to go, definitely is a liar. We always look for risk versus reward, look for proper setups, look for breakdowns, and you know, you got to continuously put yourself in positions to have the highest percentage wins. And if you're not sure how to do that, then come and join us here on our Discord channel. We're going to have plenty of people here trading. Yesterday was a really active day, had tons of trades going on. Couple winners, couple losers yesterday. It wasn't our greatest day, but we do think that it wasn't our greatest day in callouts, but our students did really well because they know our strategy now, and they posted them here, and they took advantage of strategy. We missed it because we had a couple meetings yesterday, but a couple nice little wins for them yesterday, and it was super proud of these guys. So anyways, if you're not sure how to do that, join us at OptionScalps.com. Follow us on X as we do random callouts. And yeah, we'll catch you next time.